Hello, welcome. This is now question 2 for Edexcel's C4 January 2009 past paper. Okay, so this is quite a little bit of a step up from the first question. Okay, so the first question, very simple implicit differentiation question. Whereas this question is more about reverse bracket rule of integration and volumes of revolution, which I kind of gave the little first bit away anyway. Okay, so we're given this kind of shape of the curve. Okay, we're told that the equation of the curve is y equals 3 over 1 plus 4x to the power of a half, all to the power of a half, sorry, or 3 over the square root of 1 plus 4x. Okay, and we're asked to integrate it basically between the lines x equals 2 and x equals 0. In other words, x to be 2 and x to be 0 are the limits. Okay, so what I've done is I've sort of wrote the first little bit here, so you didn't see the back of my head as much, even though some people like that for some weird reason. Okay, not that I've had any comment as such ever on my channel, but you know, lining things up. Okay, so anyway, there's no, as I said, maybe, as I said, there's a couple of approaches that you could take to this. Okay, so the most common one and the one that I would have expected most people to do is reverse bracket rule of integration. Okay, and in essence what we're going to be doing, because that's the method I'll be explaining, is we're going to be moving the 1 plus 4x all to the power of a half up to the top. In other words, we're going to change that power of a half to negative a half. Okay, and then we're going to integrate that and times it all by 3. Okay, I would say integrate it between the limits of x to be 2 and x to be 0. But what you could have done, because it's a fraction and we have rules for do we have this rule for integrating fraction? Sure. I think. No, I don't think we do actually, do we? No, sorry. I was thinking of differentiating. Oh, shut up. Sorry. That's just, you know, I don't think there's any other way that you can come up with this. I'm sure there is in any really advanced world of mathematics, but down on the simple A2 level, if you can call it that, you know, we don't have a rule. Sorry, the only way you can use this is reverse bracket rule of integration. So we're going to do the thing I said. Okay, so we'll bring the 3 out to the front. Okay, so it'll be essentially 1 over 4 plus 1 over 1 plus 4x all to the power of a half. Okay, so then we bring that up. Okay, so we bring it to 1 plus 4x all to the power of negative a half. And we use the reverse bracket rule of integration, which, just to remind you, says if we're integrating ax plus b to the power n, okay, ax and ax is just a is just a coefficient of the x, okay, and b is just a constant, and n is just another constant, okay. So that's ax plus b to the power of n plus 1 over n plus 1, and we differentiate the bracket, okay, which will just become a, and we times that. We do 1 over it and multiply that, okay? And then you could write plus c, but I'm not going to, because obviously we're going to be integrating it between limits, therefore the plus c doesn't really matter. As I said, you could calculate it, but we'd need sort of limits and stuff, and we don't have that. Okay, so that's just to confuse you. Alright, so if we integrate this on its own, obviously what we'll be doing is, obviously we're going to raise the power, so 1 plus 4x to the power now of a half, what it was on the bottom, over a half, but because we're dividing something by a half, that's the same as times it by 2, and therefore we times that by 1 over the differential, which is 4. Okay, so in essence, because the 2 and the 4, we cancel that down to 1 plus 4x to the power of a half over 2. Okay, and that is your answer. But we're going to integrate that between the limits of 2 and 0. Okay. So sorry, that's integrated, but we're just going to sub 2 and 0 and take them away, okay, like you would normally an integration question. Okay, so I've kind of done that over there, really should have done it up there. Okay, so therefore, the answer, 1 plus 4 times 2, and we square root that, over 2. Okay, and then we take that away. Hopefully you get the gist of that now, so I can kind of rub this bit off. Okay, and it's 1 plus 4 times 0 to the square root over 2, okay, and you take them 2 away and you get your answer. Well, obviously that cancels down there for to 9, okay, sorry, 9 to the power of half, which is obviously 3, so it's 3 over 2, and then that's just 1 over 2, okay, so it's 3 over 2 take 1 over 2, which is quite clearly 2 over 2, or 1 square units. Square units, sorry. Okay, so that is your answer for part A. Okay, so quite a very simple standard question you may get on something like this. Okay, part B says the region R is rotated 360 degrees around the x-axis. So as I said, you don't have to do this, but I quite like it because it makes me look like I can draw and I can't. Okay, so you just draw a little sort of volume revolution shape. As I said, you can see, even though it makes me look like I can draw, I still really can't. Okay, so the first thing I always do in these questions is write down the formula. Okay, before I do anything else, the formula for volumes of revolution, the area, the volume even, sorry, around the x-axis. Okay, which is pi times the integral with the limits a and b. In this case, it'd be 2 and 0. But as I said, I'm just stating the formula. And because we're rotating around the x-axis, as I said, the y is either being positive or negative. Okay, so you can put, therefore, you think of it as y squared dot dx with respect to x. Okay, and then you sub in what we know quite clearly. Okay, so that's equal to pi times the integral with the limits a to be 2 and b to be 0. Okay, because we're obviously integrating with x limits, y squared. Now, you might want to do this somewhere else separate on your page. Okay, well if that's y up there, we square the top, square the bottom. Well, if we square the top, that obviously gives us 9. And if we square 1 plus 4x to the square root, okay, that quite clearly gives us just 1 plus 4x. Okay, because obviously the power's a half times 1, half times 2, sorry, it'd just be 1. Okay, so that is y squared. Right, so it's 9 over 1 plus 4x. Now the key thing with this, obviously, you can quite clearly see that's going to be some sort of an ln. Obviously not just as easy as ln of 1 plus 4x, because obviously 9 is not a derivative of 4x. Okay. Now it says exact value. Okay, wants the answer an exact value in terms of the area. Okay. Now, therefore, whenever it says exact, okay, it's obviously going to relate to some kind of maybe exponential or log or, well, more specifically, natural log of x or the ln, okay? So that's what it means by exact, okay? So whenever you see exact, you know you've got to relate it somehow, some kind of ln, okay? Or as I said, exponential. Alright, so when we integrate 9 over 1 plus 4x, well, when we differentiate 1 plus 4x, okay, we get 4. And we need to do something to that 4 to get 9, okay? And obviously we can't do the adding business, we have to either times it or divide it. Okay, so therefore, to get from 4 to 9, times it by 9 quarters, okay? So therefore, you stick with the volume idea, so it's pi times 9 quarters, so you bracket this off, pi times 9 quarters of ln 1 plus 4x. Okay, with the limits of 2 and 0. Okay, and then you just sub 2 and 0 into that, okay, so pi times, okay, so it's the 9 quarters of ln 1 plus 4 times 2, so it's the ln of 9, but we'll leave it in there, okay, okay, and we take that away from 9 quarters ln 1 plus 0. In other words, the ln of 1. Now, if you were to sub, now what you could do there is do the pi times, so if you were to simplify this down, what you could do is 9 quarters, because they're both the times 9 quarters, you could do 9 quarters ln of 9 over 1. But because ln of 1 is 0, that will give you the same value as if you put ln of 9. But obviously, because it wants an exact, we're not going to convert ln of 9. It's just simply, the answer is pi times 9 quarters, or 9 pi and 4, times the ln of 9. Okay, and you put your answer to be units cubed, obviously. Okay, so that's your answer to part B. Now, just a bit of a heads up really for future questions. If you've got two ln's and you want to simplify them, so if you've got one that says 3 over 2 ln of something, take away 9 over 6 ln of something else, because we use the standard log rules, so the question's kind of finished now, because n times the ln of an answer, okay, 3x, is the same as ln of 3x to the power n, where 3x is times by the power n, okay? So as I said, they mean the same thing. So you can use that idea to convert two ln, so you can divide them, okay? So that's just a bit of a heads up, but really, as I said, I'm kind of assuming you already knew that. Right, so thanks for watching. That's the end now of question 2. As I said, it's a bit of a step up from question 1, but still, it's fairly simple. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want me to try and explain anything again on the board, please do let me know, and don't forget to the usual thing in for the not dislike. You might be doing so. I'm assuming because the nature of human beings in the world, just because I've said that, I'll get a lot of dislikes. So shut my mouth before I say anything else stupid. Okay, so thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you next video.